Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Martinez, and I am here today with a dear friend of mine, fellow business owner, client, Monique Higginson with Market Source Real Estate. How are you doing today, Monique?
Good, thank you.
Excellent. So glad to hear it. So, Monique, you and I have known each other for a really long time. I think we met, maybe 7 or 8 years ago?
It
Um,
has to be 8 at least, I think.
Yeah, at least. And we met kind of randomly at a networking event. And my very first impression of Monique was when she asked, like, I met her, and within 3 minutes, she was like, "You should buy a house." And I was like, whoa, that was very out of the blue. Um, but then I just learned, like, over time, to really appreciate your level of candor, directness, things like that. And I learned that where you come from is just from a genuine place of really wanting to set people up for success, with their home, financially, in life, things like that.
Totally.
So that was when we very first met, and we just kept bumping into each other from then on out at kind of all these different things. Um, so, Monique, just talk a little bit about how you and I first started working together.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure on this timing that I was going through Goldman Sachs and realized that we were really missing the mark in a lot of areas, and I definitely needed help, but didn't necessarily have the funds to hire somebody. So, I mean, just starting out kind of contracting you to have some help and give me some guidance was a great start. But then very quickly, just I could see the value and how much of a difference it was making,
Yeah.
in terms of growing revenues and such. And so
And,
happy to bring you guys on full time.
and the timing of it was great because I just kind of launched my own business and was just starting out. I remember exactly like how much that very first payment was. It was $125, and it was to create a social media strategy and to train a couple of people that were working for you on how to implement that social media strategy. And I
Okay.
probably put, like, no joke, 10 hours of work into it. I was so detailed, and, but when you're starting out, you don't know, and you don't know how much to charge, and you're kind of undervaluing yourself and your skill set. Um,
Totally.
and that was within the first 3 or 4 months that I started my business. So Market Source and Elle Marketing have kind of grown together quite a bit over the past few years. Talk just a little bit about, like, how much, like, your growth has been astounding. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, it's just time. I mean, I think enough years of experience in the business just gives you some level of security and comfort that things do work out. And if you work hard, you're going to grow. And so it's been so exciting to be growing. I think this year we grew, well, revenues doubled.
Yeah.
So, 100% growth. And that a lot of that is just because we have a lot of other great agents coming on who are producing some pretty good sales. So
Yeah.
it's a really exciting time.
Yeah, it really, really is. Um, and for me, I've been able to see your growth and development as a business owner, as an individual. I've had this, like, amazing front row seat to that.
Not always beautiful, but yeah.
No, but that's just like all growth. There's growing pains, and I relate to that as a business owner myself. But seeing you really persevere through it all has been incredible as well. What have been some of the challenges over the past, 5 or 6 years that you've experienced in your business?
Well, I mean, the hardest thing is getting divorced and separating a company. That definitely creates creates some difficulties and opportunities. And, it is fun to kind of now be really making it my own and growing it the way I want to.
Yeah.
But I mean, divorce and then COVID for a month, after COVID kind of really started, the market was dead.
Yes.
So for a minute, it was just like, what's even going to happen here? And then luckily it picked right back up, and it has been an amazing couple of years. But
Yeah. After that first 30 days, when everybody realized I don't want to live here anymore,
right.
or
Yeah,
I can live anywhere now.
exactly. It's been so interesting and fun to see the shifts and changes in the market and just consumer habits. So it's been
Yeah.
an interesting few years for sure.
The other thing that I've seen in you, and as I've gotten to know you just on a personal level, you have a pretty incredible personal story. As a matter of fact, you were featured recently in a news article in one of the local papers, just talking about how you got to this point. Share a little bit about that.
Well, it's been a lot, and it was definitely very emotional, kind of having this story released. But I mean, I was actually having dinner with a neighbor friend who was a journalist, and he just said, "Wow, this is a story that really should be told." So, it feels good. It feels like I've had this secret my whole life, and now it's out, and so that kind of feels like a relief.
Yeah.
But also, it's starting to make me really recognize that I've really overcome a lot, and the future is very, very bright. And I think just the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. And we'll pop the link for that story into the comments in this live stream. But your life when you were younger was really challenging. You were raised, your parents were addicts. And, just a few details of like what that was like and your experience growing up and how hard that was.
Well, I mean, the good and the bad is it made me who I am today. I had to be fiercely independent and solve a lot of adult problems as a child. And so I just kind of came into the world very prepared to figure everything out on my own. So
Yeah.
while that was really hard and traumatizing, and I didn't even realize how difficult it was until I was quite a bit older, it made me who I am. So I'm grateful for a lot of parts of that, and I would definitely not be where I am today without
Yeah.
thing in the past. So
Yeah, there was a lot of growth, a lot of determination, a lot of self-awareness, but you've also put in a lot of work personally as well. So touch on some of those things also.
well, I mean, besides seeking every kind of therapy that exists, I mean, I've had a business coach or a life coach for many years, and I just am just thirsty for knowledge, and I want to live as happy as I can and make the world a better place because I'm here,
Yeah.
so I work hard at that, and it's a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the things that you're kind of currently working at, personally, professionally? What direction are you headed?
Well, I've been working to grow back my real estate empire that I had to sell off during the real estate crisis 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's been really fun to buy some more rental properties and really secure my future. So that
Yeah.
feels really good. We're definitely growing a lot with Market Source this year. We're having a lot of agents approach us, and so I think we'll grow quite a bit, which is really exciting. And I am starting a secondary business kind of related to real estate education. So
Wow.
that will be a really exciting development that might add some kind of more passive income than sales.
Yeah.
So this
'Cause
year looks bright, assuming this
yeah,
doesn't
one of the things
fall down.
absolutely. One of the things we always talk about as business owners is having some sort of like exit strategy or a plan for when we just can't do the thing that we're doing like full time, full speed ahead with 100% of our attention.
Yeah. And I'm definitely creating that plan very aggressively right now.
Yeah, I love that. And
Tiring.
yes, it is because it basically means you're doing two jobs,
Yeah.
or three jobs, and a couple of them for essentially for free. You're not getting paid yet. But
Right. But that's okay.
that's part of it. It is okay. It is okay. Um, One of the things that I really admire about you as well, Monique, is the fact that as a business owner and as a person, you're always looking to help other people grow. You've been an amazing example and mentor to me. You work very closely with some of the agents. It seems like one of your core values is essentially giving back on a lot of different levels.
Because I would never be here without mentors. I mean, you and I, we didn't meet through the Women's Networking Group, but we know each other through the Utah Women's Networking Group. And so many amazing mentors I just met through that group that have propelled me to where I am today. And so, you know, if I can make a difference or save somebody some drama and, you know, they don't have to go through something that I did.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to do that for anybody that I can.
You know, I love that you said that, because I've always felt the same way, where, I mean, my business wouldn't exist. It wouldn't have made it through that first year without having other women from a couple of different networking groups actually trust me with their business. You know, I had some great connections. I had some good things going on for me, but it was through some of those networking groups that I learned how to actually be a business owner, go out and get business, like really connect with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if I've kind of outgrown getting business from some of those sources at this point, I will always be there and will always try and give back for that very reason.
Exactly. Because there are people like you and I 8 years ago that now need that help. And so we can really make a difference, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, the other thing that has been really interesting for me as we've worked with you on your marketing over the years, we've like defined it and then defined it again and then defined it again. And Market Source is in kind of a fun transition right now, in that you're kind of moving away from just specializing in older homes and really specific neighborhoods to more of a luxury property space. Um, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we've done to reposition Market Source Real Estate in that very niche arena.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all change and we grow, right? And so what was Market Source's story is no longer. And so it's been so fun to kind of do some rebranding and, you know, have a refresh on everything. It just feels brand new and more luxurious and sophisticated. And, you know, it's so fun to go a new direction and start anew.
Yeah, so we just barely completely redid the logo and the brand guide at like everything for the company. I think it's so beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. It feels sophisticated. It's got kind of like a honeycomb shape to it. And then on top of that, it has a hidden M for Market Source and Monique in there. But there's also a little bit of an implication of a house or a home, and it's surrounded and enclosed, but feels a little bit more luxe. Your last logo, I think you just like, it was from like,
yeah, an online company called LogoWorks, and they would create like 3 different logos, and if you liked one, you would choose it. And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
You know, and that was fine. That was fine 15 years ago, but you know, it's time for something new and more refined.
Yeah, I didn't have a logo until I was like 3 years into the business, and I literally own a marketing agency, and we were doing logos for other people, and I was like, oh, I should probably fix this.
Well, just like, right, I own an old house that's, you know, I don't maintain very well, but I maintain everybody else's house.
Of course, same principle. Yep. You know, one of the other things that we've been doing is we've shifted your strategy a little bit. We do a lot of blog content and things like that for Market Source Real Estate. And we used to write a lot of content about, you know, fixing up an old house, what to look for in an old foundation, you know, how to stage your home. And now we're kind of transitioning to more content about, you know, luxury high-end real estate. And so that's something else that we've kind of focused on over time. What are some of the other things that you're doing within Market Source Real Estate to reposition yourself?
Well, I got a luxury home marketing certification.
Yeah.
So some additional training and understanding kind of what those particular clients are looking for.
Yeah.
So that's been something, I mean, you've kind of, well, you might laugh, but you might appreciate this. Somebody who I met through the women's networking group does styling. And
Yes.
I personally need a brand refresh, right? So that's been really fun just to kind of really assess, what my style is now. And I'm heavier because I'm a little bit older. So, it's time for some new clothes and just a new look. So that's been super, super fun to kind of.
I love that. I should be taking advantage of that as well. Like I'm 40. It might be time to just look at things again.
Exactly. Because I'm like, I still feel young, but I'm not young anymore. That's the reality. So it's time to grow up in dress as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, even I was like, does like my makeup routine still make sense? I'm older, like I can afford, I can afford better products. What does that look like? And so that that personal brand as a business owner is also really important, and appearance and demeanor and presentation, all of that comes into play as well.
Exactly.
Monique, I really appreciate your friendship. I really appreciate your business over the years. I look forward to continuing to grow with you over time. And I just wanted to really thank you for all that you've done for me, for my business over the years. I can't appreciate you enough.
Well, and thank you. You've been absolutely critical, a critical piece to to get us where we are now. So I'm super grateful. It's wonderful.
I'm really proud of what we've built together.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you again, Monique, for joining us. And we've popped Monique's website as well into the comments. So please go ahead and check out thinksaltlakecity.com and visit Monique there. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today.
Thank you.